The open sea hides many secrets, but few are as eerie as the photographs taken aboard the SS Watertown in 1924. Two sailors, James Courtney and Michael Meehan, lost their lives in a tragic accident while cleaning a cargo tank. Their bodies were buried at sea, sinking into the depths. Soon after, something strange happened. The crew reported seeing two ghostly faces in the water staring back at them. At first, it sounded like grief playing tricks on the mind. But then, the ship's captain did something unexpected. He grabbed a camera and snapped a photo of the water. When the film was developed, the eerie faces were there, clear as day. Hollow eyes, blurred but unmistakable features, floating just beneath the waves. The image spread quickly, shocking those who saw it. Skeptics claim the faces were nothing more than a trick of light, reflections in the water, or even debris. But if that's true, why did the crew report seeing the faces again and again, long after the photo was taken? Could something beyond explanation have been haunting the ship? Some believe it was a warning, spirits unable to move on, lingering where their lives were cut short. Others take it even further, suggesting the ocean itself holds something darker, a force that captures souls and refuses to let go. If these were mere illusions, why haven't similar photos been taken since? The SS Watertown's ghostly image remains one of the most haunting maritime mysteries ever caught on film. The ocean is vast, deep, and ancient. How many other faces might be staring up from below, waiting to be seen? Photographs capture moments in time, but sometimes, they reveal something that was never supposed to be there. The Royal Air Force's Goddard Squadron group photo is one of the strangest military images ever taken. At first glance, it's just a standard World War II-era squadron picture. But look closely at the airmen in the back row. Experts have examined this image for years, but there's no clear explanation. Some believe it belongs to Freddie Jackson, a former squadron member who had died in an accident 2 days before the photo was taken. Could it be a final goodbye, caught on camera? Skeptics say it's a trick of the light, but even they struggle to explain why the hand seems fully formed, yet detached from any body. And then, there's this other photograph, one even harder to rationalize. A black and white image of hundreds of soldiers standing in formation, a sea of identical uniforms, but among them, something is wrong. One figure stands out, its head replaced with something unnatural. A smooth, featureless mask, large dark eye holes, an elongated shape. It looks like something from another world, right in the middle of a historical military gathering. No official records mention anyone wearing a mask like this during the time period the photo was taken. Some suggest it's a prank, a soldier playing a joke. But if so, why does the eerie figure seem so much taller and thinner than those around it? Others believe the image could be proof of something else. An intruder in history, something observing, hiding in plain sight. Could this be another case of the camera capturing what the eye cannot see? Or is this something even stranger, an entity that was never meant to be there at all? Nature has a way of playing tricks on the eyes, but some photos are impossible to explain. Deep within the Grand Canyon, where towering cliffs stretch for miles, a chilling photograph surfaced. A tourist captured what should have been a breathtaking view of the canyon's endless ridges. But in the background, something stood out. A tall, cloaked figure, motionless, watching. It had no discernible features, only a dark silhouette against the rock. At first, the photographer assumed it was another hiker, but others at the scene swore they had seen no one standing there. This isn't the first time people have reported eerie encounters in the Grand Canyon. Some visitors have claimed to hear whispers in the wind, strange shadows flickering across the cliffs. The Havasupai people, who have lived in the area for centuries, speak of spirits that wander the canyon, figures from another world. The image of the grim reaper-like figure only fuels these legends. Was this just a case of pareidolia, our brains seeing patterns where there are none? Or did the camera pick up something real, something that shouldn't be there? Some suggest it's a trick of light, but no one has found a logical explanation for the figure's eerie shape and towering stance. And yet, the Grand Canyon isn't the only place where cameras capture things no one can explain. Mars is a dead planet, or at least, that's what scientists tell us. But in 2015, a photograph taken by NASA's Curiosity rover sparked one of the biggest debates in space exploration. The image, broadcast straight from the Martian surface, appeared to show something standing on a rocky outcrop. It wasn't just any shape. It had the unmistakable form of a human figure. A slender silhouette, long limbs, a distinct head, Even what looked like flowing robes. Many began calling it the woman on Mars. NASA dismissed it as a rock formation, an illusion created by shadow and distance, but that explanation didn't convince everyone. The figure seemed too perfectly shaped, too much like something alive. Conspiracy theories took off. Some suggested it was proof of an intelligent presence on Mars. Perhaps something that had been living there long before humans even looked up at the sky. Others speculated that this could be a remnant of an ancient Martian civilization, a statue left behind by a species wiped out long ago. And then there were those who took it even further. Was this a projection, a hologram, or even something observing the rover itself? This isn't the first time Mars has given us something impossible to explain. Over the years, NASA images have captured other anomalies, strange objects, unexplainable shadows, even what some claim are artificial structures. Are they just tricks of light? Or is there something on Mars that we weren't meant to see? The more images we receive, the more questions arise. But unexplained photos don't just come from distant planets. Some of the strangest images ever taken were captured right here on Earth. Pictures that reveal things moving too fast for the human eye to catch. Like the bizarre case of the rods phenomenon, where high-speed cameras may have recorded creatures we never even knew existed. Some things move so fast that the human eye can't see them. But cameras? They don't lie. For decades, mysterious rod-like shapes have appeared in photographs and video footage all over the world. These strange, elongated forms with what look like undulating wings have been captured in forests, deserts, even deep underground. Researchers call them rods, and no one can agree on what they are. Some claim these are unknown creatures, living organisms that exist in a dimension we can't fully perceive. Unlike birds or insects, rods seem to move with a fluid, almost mechanical motion, zipping through the air at impossible speeds. In Mexico, China, and the United States, footage of these entities has sparked theories ranging from cryptid life forms to interdimensional beings. Skeptics argue that they are nothing more than motion blur, bugs or birds distorted by the limitations of cameras. But if that's true, why do they always appear in the same way, across different cameras, different conditions, and different continents? The debate remains open. Are rods evidence of a hidden species, creatures that exist just beyond the limits of our perception? Or are they simply a trick of light and motion? Whatever the answer, cameras continue to capture things the human eye was never meant to see. And sometimes, what they reveal isn't just strange, it's terrifying. Like the shadowy figure caught in one of America's most haunted hotels, standing in a place where no living soul should have been. The Stanley Hotel is no stranger to ghosts. The inspiration for The Shining, it has been the setting for countless paranormal investigations. But one photograph stands out among all the eerie encounters. Taken in 2016, it captures a staircase inside the hotel. Nothing unusual at first, but there, at the top, stands a dark figure. It wasn't there when the photo was taken. It wasn't a guest, and yet it was caught on camera. The Shadow Man, as he's now known, isn't the only spirit said to haunt the Stanley Hotel. Guests report hearing whispers in empty hallways, footsteps echoing where no one is walking. Some even claim to have seen figures move through locked doors. But this photograph is different. The figure isn't just a blur or a trick of the light, it's tall, distinct, solid. Paranormal experts believe it could be the spirit of a former guest or employee, a lost soul trapped in one of America's most infamous haunted locations. Skeptics, of course, have tried to explain it. A long exposure, a trick of shadows. But those who have seen the original image say otherwise. The more you stare at it, the harder it is to dismiss. Some places never let go of their ghosts, and some photographs prove they never left. But not every unexplained image is about the supernatural. Some mysteries are far more human, like the man who stood alone in front of a line of tanks in one of the most powerful images in modern history, and then disappeared without a trace. One of the most famous photographs ever taken shows a single man standing in front of a line of tanks, stopping them in their tracks. It was Beijing, 1989. The Tiananmen Square protests had reached a boiling point, but instead of violence, there was this moment, silent, still, unforgettable. The world saw the image, the world knew the man, or so we thought. The identity of Tankman has never been confirmed. His fate remains one of the greatest mysteries in modern history. Was he arrested? Executed? Did he escape into the crowd, vanishing into anonymity? Even today, no one knows. Some claim he was whisked away by the government, his story erased. Others believe he survived, living in exile under a different name. The only certainty is the image itself. A frozen moment in time, a defiant stand against power. And yet there's something unsettling about how someone so famous could simply cease to exist. In an age where information spreads in seconds, how could an entire person vanish without a trace? Some believe the truth is buried, locked away. Others think he was never meant to be found. Whatever the answer, the mystery remains. A man who changed history, whose face is known to millions, yet whose identity is a ghost. Some photographs reveal too much. Others leave behind nothing but questions. High in the Scottish Highlands, where the fog rolls thick over the peaks, something strange lurks. Mountaineers have told the same story for over a century, a towering, shadowy figure that stalks the summit of Ben Macdui. He's called the Fear Lieth More, or the Greyman, and those who have encountered him say the experience is nothing short of terrifying. One of the most unsettling encounters came from respected mountaineer Professor J. Norman Colley in 1891. He described hearing footsteps following him, loud, deliberate, and unnaturally spaced, as if something impossibly large was just out of sight. When he turned, nothing was there. But the feeling of being watched, of something closing in, sent him running down the mountain. Other climbers have reported seeing a dark, indistinct shape in the mist, standing over 8 feet tall. Some believe it's a hallucination brought on by exhaustion, an illusion caused by the shifting fog. But then, a photograph surfaced. A hiker's image taken in our time seems to capture a massive figure standing among the rocks, its shape distorted by the haze. Is it just a play of light, or is this proof that something truly inhabits Ben Macdui? Even skeptics struggle to dismiss the reports entirely. There's no logical explanation for the sheer number of sightings, no clear reason why so many have felt an overwhelming sense of dread in the exact same place. But while the Greyman's presence remains a mystery, another unexplained event has left behind something far more tangible. A monument reduced to rubble overnight, without a single suspect. For over 40 years, the Georgia Guidestone stood in Elbert County, Georgia, a towering granite monument inscribed with cryptic messages in multiple languages. Some called it America's Stonehenge. Others saw it as something more sinister. No one knew for certain who built it or why, but conspiracy theories swirled. Claims of secret societies, population control, even instructions left behind by an unknown intelligence. And then, in 2022, someone destroyed it. In the dead of night, an explosion rocked the site, shattering one of the massive stone slabs. Surveillance footage showed a sudden blast, a blinding flash. But the real mystery isn't just who planted the explosives, it's what happened next. Within hours, authorities demolished the remaining structure. No investigation, no effort to preserve the site, almost as if someone wanted it erased. Some believe the Guidestones were targeted by extremists who saw them as a symbol of globalist control. Others think the destruction was staged, a cover-up to hide something carved in those cryptic messages. And then, there are those who believe the stones were never meant to stand forever, that their creators, whoever they were, knew this moment would come. The only certainty is that their destruction left behind more questions than answers. But mysteries don't always come in the form of massive stone monoliths. Sometimes they appear in the flicker of a flame, in the reflection of a camera lens. Like the unsettling case of the ghost child of Wem Town Hall, a haunting image caught in the middle of an inferno. Fires consume everything. They leave behind only ashes, erasing any trace of what stood before. But in 1995, as flames devoured Wem Town Hall in England, a single photograph captured something that defied logic. A figure stood in the burning doorway, a little girl staring straight ahead. She wasn't running, wasn't crying, wasn't reacting to the chaos around her. She was simply there. The photographer, Tony O'Rahilly, claimed he saw nothing unusual when he took the picture, but when the image was developed, the girl's face was unmistakable. Some believe she is the ghost of Jane Churm, a young girl who perished in a fire in the same town back in 1677. Others think it's a trick of light, an illusion created by the flames. But then, why does she look so real? Skeptics have tried to debunk the photo, claiming it was tampered with. Yet no evidence of manipulation has ever been found. The image remains one of the most famous ghost photographs ever taken. If it's a hoax, no one has been able to prove it. If it's real, then what does that say about what lingers after death? Some mysteries burn away with time, others refuse to disappear. Photographs are supposed to capture reality, but some reveal things no one can explain. In 1891, Sybil Corbett took a long-exposure photograph of the Comberir Abbey library. The room was empty. No one was there. At least, that's what she thought. But when the image was developed, a faint, transparent figure could be seen sitting in one of the chairs. It looked eerily like Lord Comberir, the former owner of the estate. The only problem? He had died earlier that day, miles away. Some dismissed it as a double exposure, but the conditions of the shot made that unlikely. The figure appeared only in one chair, perfectly aligned as if it had been sitting there all along. Even stranger, the Abbey staff later claimed that Lord Comberir had always favored that very spot. Was this a case of a lingering spirit captured on film one last time, or was it simply an illusion, a trick of light and timing? The debate continues to this day, but ghosts aren't the only things appearing in photographs that defy explanation. Some images hint at something much bigger, something watching from above. On August 4, 1990, two hikers in Scotland captured one of the most baffling UFO images ever taken. The photograph shows a massive, diamond-shaped object hovering in the sky, a military jet flying nearby. The image is striking, sharp, detailed, and unlike anything ever officially acknowledged. The two men who took it claimed the object made no sound, moved unnaturally, and then shot off at an impossible speed. They handed the negatives to a local newspaper, which then sent them to the Ministry of Defense. And that's when the image disappeared. For decades, the photo was classified. It was only in 2022 that a copy was finally released to the public. Experts who analyzed it say it doesn't resemble any known aircraft. Some believe it was an experimental military craft, possibly a secret black project. Others argue it was something else entirely, something not from this world. But why was it hidden for so long? What did the authorities not want people to see? The Calvine photograph remains one of the best pieces of UFO evidence ever recorded. And yet, even among unexplained images, some are not just mysterious, they are legendary. Like the chilling portrait of the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, one of the most famous ghost photographs in history. There are ghost stories, and then there's the Brown Lady. In 1936, two photographers working for Country Life magazine were documenting the grand halls of Raynham Hall in Norfolk, England. As they adjusted their camera, one of them gasped. Something was descending the staircase, a figure barely visible shrouded in a flowing gown. They clicked the shutter just in time. What they captured became one of the most famous ghost photographs ever taken. The image shows a misty, translucent woman floating down the stairs. Those who know the legend say it's Lady Dorothy Walpole, a noblewoman who lived in the hall in the 1700s. Locked away by her jealous husband, she supposedly died in isolation, her spirit doomed to wander the halls forever. Many have claimed to see her, guests, staff, even visiting nobility. But the photograph? That was proof. Skeptics have tried to debunk it, calling it a smudge, a double exposure, a fabrication. Yet no one has ever definitively explained how it was created. The Brown Lady remains one of the strongest cases for photographic evidence of the paranormal. In November 2020, a team of biologists surveying Utah's Red Rock Canyons stumbled upon something impossible. A 12-foot-tall, three-sided metal monolith standing alone in the middle of nowhere. There were no markings, no signs of how it got there. It wasn't a natural formation. It wasn't on any maps. It looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. And just as mysteriously as it appeared, it vanished. Days after its discovery made headlines, the monolith was gone. No official explanation was given. Some claimed it was removed by an anonymous group to prevent damage to the site. Others believe it was never meant to be found in the first place. But the strangest part? Similar monoliths began appearing in other parts of the world. California, Romania, even the UK. Were they part of an elaborate art project or something much more bizarre? Some suggested an unknown intelligence was leaving behind these structures as a message. If that's true, who or what put them here? And if we're being watched, could the answer lie even higher, beyond the sky itself? For decades, astronomers have reported a strange, unidentified object orbiting Earth. It doesn't match any known satellite. It wasn't launched by any country. Some believe it has been circling the planet for over 13,000 years. This is the legend of the Black Knight satellite, one of space's greatest mysteries. Theories about the object date back to the 1950s, when reports surfaced of an unknown signal being detected from orbit. In 1998, during a space shuttle mission, NASA released images of a dark, angular object floating above Earth. NASA insists it was just space debris, a lost thermal blanket from the shuttle. But UFO researchers aren't convinced. The object in the images looks too structured, too intentional. Some believe it's an ancient extraterrestrial probe, left to observe humanity. Others think it's evidence of a lost civilization, something that existed long before recorded history. NASA remains silent on the matter, dismissing the claims as conspiracy. But if it's just a piece of junk, why does it keep showing up in images from different missions? Why does it seem to shift position on its own? Some mysteries float just beyond our reach, waiting to be answered. And sometimes they don't just stay in space, they appear in the skies right above our heads. In 2016, photographers in Portugal captured a sight that left people stunned. A massive glowing cloud formation shaped like a clenched fist appeared in the sky, illuminated by the rising sun. It looked almost too perfect, like a giant hand reaching down from the heavens. Religious believers quickly called it a divine sign. Some said it was the hand of God, a symbol of power, warning, or even protection. Others linked it to biblical prophecies, an omen of things to come. Scientists, of course, had a different explanation. They claimed it was nothing more than an unusual cloud formation, shaped by the wind and light in just the right way. But what are the odds of something this precise, this uncanny, forming purely by chance? Skeptics may dismiss it as coincidence, but throughout history, strange things have appeared in the sky. Lights, shapes, unexplainable phenomena. Were they all just weather patterns, tricks of the atmosphere? Or are we witnessing something far greater, something beyond human understanding? Whether it was a message, a warning, or simply an illusion, the image remains haunting. Some mysteries fade with time. Others are burned into the sky, daring us to find their meaning. Some photos capture reality, others reveal the impossible. Faces in water, figures in the sky, shadows on Mars, each one challenges what we know. Are they illusions or proof of something beyond our understanding? The mystery remains. That's about it. Write in the comments which photo surprised you the most. For more useful information, watch other videos.